Welcome to FlamingHotFacts, your go-to destination for incredibly true facts verified by 9 out of 10 soybean farmers. I'm your host, Anthony Fantano. Today's subject, 10 things you didn't know about Filthy Frank, one of today's leading mathematicians. Let's get started. Number 1. Filthy Frank, originally Kudik, was born into a world of suffering in 5th century Ireland. His parents were unsuccessful mink farmers who were only able to support his upbringing by tickling him into submission for the entertainment of onlookers. Frank escaped this childhood hell by forging a mighty cudgel and throwing it at Mach speed toward his father. Frank then encased his mother in a pillar of salt and buried her deep within the earth. Then he finally made his way to freedom. Number 2. Frank spent his remaining days in Ireland as part of a minstrel troupe, selling valuable government intel to aliens for pocket change. Frank then grew weary of the mundanity of the Irish peasant life and decided he needed a change. He quit his minstrel troupe, then moved to a neighboring town 2 miles away where he joined a different minstrel troupe. Number 3. In 487 AD, Frank stole a brass rod from the court jester of the Britons, Dafydd Basil's Munford Soc the 69th of Britain. King Crudwell Marshgibbon II ordered the 51st Battalion to seize Frank for his crime. In his struggle to outrun the soldiers, Frank slipped on an aggressive banana peel and fell into a pool of tree sap, which fossilized him. He emerged centuries later in the mid-1980s. Number 4. Frank, upon waking up in modern times, immediately established success as a famed cancer terrorist. At the height of his career, Frank received $2 million for every target he was contracted to implant with end-stage squamous, a cancer of the head and neck area. Number 5. Frank was sued for racism in 1991 when he slapped a Sri Lankan boy in the armpit and said, quote, "Go make me a burrito, you stupid Canadian," end quote. However, 3 years into Frank's stint in jail, it was discovered that he may have been framed. Extensive evidence suggests that Macho Man Randy Savage dressed up as Frank and began a drunken rampage in the slums of Sri Lanka, slapping young boy armpits and devouring adult monkeys. However, the judge of Frank's appeal hated Asians and sentenced him with the death penalty. Number 6. Frank was seriously injured in 1994 when he engaged in battle with a massive worm that self-identified as an Amish butter farmer. Although Frank carried the advantage of speed on his side, his supply of Amish butter farmer worm repellent had run dry. The worm slashed Frank's neck open and shoved him inside of a butter churner and churned him for hours. Frank barely escaped when the worm got bored and flew away. Number 7. Frank currently lives in a cave on a beach in the Netherlands. He feeds on garbage and gypsum, and only comes out when it is time to tan his buffalo hides and get into fistfights with goat children. End fact. Number 8. In 2002, Frank chartered a journey by sailboat to Newfoundland. He hired 69 shipmates and gathered 420 tons of bananas and Pepto-Bismol for them to live off of. 2 months into their voyage, Frank and company were attacked by Vikings, who offered to let them live as long as they helped them uncap all of Newfoundland's bottled water so that the country would sink. Frank agreed. Number 9. Frank received the Medal of Honor in 2007 for his work with the HPU, which stands for the Hydraulic Press Union, an organization dedicated to the health and well-being of the elderly. Frank has spent every Saturday for the past week licking soup for the HPU. Thank you for all that you do for our elderly, Frank. Number 10. Frank once devoured so many kidney beans. He reported to Sports Illustrated, quote, "It was a lot, and I ate all of them. Kidney beans, that is. A lot. All eaten by me. Filthy Bean Dream Frank." End quote. That's all I've got on Francis. Did you learn something? Hope you all enjoyed taking a dip in the jacuzzi of learning. Remember to subscribe and smash that like button if you want more. Also, if you have an idea of what you'd like to learn about next, make sure you leave your suggestion in the comments.